Okay, can everybody see and hear me? Wonderful. Okay, so my paper was taking the platform frameworks and applying it to political campaigns, specifically presidential campaigns, which have their own unique kind of issue, especially in America. So what we have right now is a combination of two events that are defining the landscape, and that's Electoral College and digital ubiquity. So just to kind of recap, how does Electoral College work in the United States? Well, we have 140 million voters in the last election for president, but we don't just count the votes. No, that would be crazy. We break them up by state, and then whether or not you win a state determines how many electors from that state, usually based on population. 48 states have a winner-take-all system. But what happens is that means at the end, some states matter more than others, because some states you know you're going to win. California is going to go to the Democrats. Mississippi is going to go to the Republicans. So only a few states are really in play. And then in those states that are in play, some voters you know are going to vote Democrat and some are going to vote Republican. And so in the end, what happened in 2016, we know this number because we can look at the gap, is 80,000 people wound up determining the election of 140 million voters. In a lot of ways, by the way, this means that running for mayor of New York is more challenging than running for president of the United States, because New York is by popular vote, millions of voters, huge demographic difference, huge issue differences. But look at this, this is 80,000 voters, a lot of them in the same geographic area, a lot of them in the same issues and same demographics. So really running for president breaks down to like running for mayor of a small town, really. So the question is, how do we identify those 80,000 people? And that's been the challenge since, well, the founding of the nation. And what's happened is that digital ubiquity has changed this now. Of those 140 million voters, we can now use data analysis to identify where those particular voters are, the swing voters in those swing states. Those are the critical elements. And not only that, now we have digital technology that allows us to reach them directly. So with these two elements now, the Electoral College with digital ubiquity, we can identify the critical voters that actually will move the election. What's interesting about this is whether or not campaigns are utilizing digital ubiquity in this way. Well, we can use that platform framework to kind of understand this. So the first thing is, what's the value capture that's going on, right? Value capture, value creation, and operations. Well, the value capture is votes. Like, no, it's not votes, right? It's swing voters. Nope, it's not swing voters. What is it? It's swing voters in swing states. That's the capture. That is the only job of the campaign. 98% of the votes are done before the campaign even starts. The only thing it has to worry about is swing voters in swing states. How does it get that? It creates value basically through messaging. This is not the only way it creates value, but campaigns don't provide a product. What they're providing is a promise, and that's the messaging. Well, how do we go about and create an operation that feeds into this? Well, what's interesting is that the Trump campaign has gone basically pure digital. Brad Parscale is a coder. He's in charge of the campaign. He's the campaign manager now. Brad has no real past experience running a campaign. 9 years ago, he was making websites for local businesses in San Antonio. But what he did do is he ran the digital technology operation for the last campaign. And as that ramped up, now he's been all the way up to campaign manager. What else have they done? Well, back in the last campaign, they actually brought in Facebook, Google, and Twitter. Brought those employees in full-time, embedded into the campaign to teach the campaign how to use the platform or how to use their platforms. Right? These same entities also went to the Clinton campaign. They were denied. They said, we don't need you. What also they've done is that Brad has gone out, done a lot of A/B testing. Do you like red buttons or blue buttons? Do you like this topic or that topic, and how do you want us to talk about it? So they're constantly hitting people with ads and different types of ads and trying to figure out what they want. Finally, they can't make enough ads by people, so they use an AI system. Hundreds of thousands of custom-made ads every day that are going out. And so what we see here is we see the alignment. The goal is to get swing voters in swing states. They want to create messaging that gets those voters, and they've created a digital operation to get those swing voters in swing states. So what do we see with digital ubiquity in platform campaigns? Well, it's more than just a tool. This isn't just another means to be able to reach out to voters. It's not just, oh, let's do an email campaign or a YouTube video. Right? what you're seeing is one of the campaigns and making it the center of universe of the campaign, that they recognize that digital ubiquity has changed the fundamental competitive landscape of running for president. And what this tells me is that wherever I see digitization, I should start thinking, can I use a platform here? Can I do a platform type of operation here? Because if I do a platform operation, and remember, they're just doing one little part of it. There's so much more to platforms that we've learned about they could enact. What would it look like if we did a political campaign running for president using a platform and trying to use network effects, develop an ecosystem, use crowdsourcing? All of these elements still haven't been leveraged. I'm not even sure how they would be leveraged, but it's definitely interesting. But the last point is this, is that, well, messaging isn't only part of the thing. We also have that, well, reality gets a vote. Come into the election, COVID's still going to be on the mind of voters, and there's issues and positions. This is only part of it. So, I mean, does it mean because you run a digital campaign that you are going to, by nature, win the election? No, of course not. But what I do believe is this. In the end, a campaign is at its best when it aligns operations, value creation, value capture, to identify those votes it needs and does that through a digital operation. That is it. Don't monetize. Wait until you monetize. And what I would say is, there is no, if you need to spend $1 billion, you're already dead in the water. Right? Do you need 2 billion, 3 billion, 4 billion? How much money do you need to get to these 80,000 people? I would say that you're just being inefficient at that point. What we know is that you need, the only purpose of a campaign is to get to those swing voters in swing states. It is not to raise money. You don't need $1 billion. If you go right now to joebiden.com, it is a picture of Joe Biden on one side and give money over here on the other. That's the website. Go to donaldtrump.com. You know what it is? It's a video right now that pops up that's an attack message against Biden. You know, now there is a donate like menu item at the top. And I guarantee you, I'm just guessing here because I don't know Brad personally, because he wasn't even on the radar 9 years ago, that Brad has taken that message and knows that it's targeting swing voters in swing states. Do not try to monetize. You don't need the money. And if you need the money, you're already in trouble. My argument is that the campaign should be headquartered in like Buffalo, Columbus, Flint, Detroit. And you need to spend all your time thinking about them. And that's just, you know, now here's the crazy thing, right? You know, where is Trump's campaign located? It's located in San Antonio. Why? Because that's where Brad lives. It's crazy. It's got to be the first time a presidential campaign put its headquarters, because that's where the campaign manager's home was. But they see themselves as a digital operation. They don't need to be anywhere specific. They will say, and this is the answer, Matt, we do that. They don't think they're different than the Trump organization. Yeah, we do that. We have data analysts. We do data analytics. We do targeting. We do Facebook ads. We do this. And my argument is, no, they've made it the center of their universe. They have literally put the earth and changed it and put it into the center of the universe and changed how everything orbits. Psychographics aren't used. I mean, nobody uses Cambridge Analytica stuff. It's complete hogwash. Every company I've ever known that has used that psychographic kind of stuff is at the end is like, you know what? I'm sorry, but demographics work. And now I have individual information on your, if you tell me your age, race, gender, political affiliation, who you're giving money to, your media usage, where you're located, your education level, and what your job is, how much more information do I need to know about you? I can target you, send that messages to you, see if you respond to them and adapt them accordingly. I don't need psychographic stuff. What they use is they use this basic information to target you, hit you, and then adapt quickly to see if you respond. Does that actually change your vote? I don't know. But it's a lot better than the other method, which is send out big, TV commercials that nobody watches. The competitive landscape is a point now where digital ubiquity is high enough that you can do this. Can it win an election? Depends on the election. And specifically in presidential elections, it has a lot of effect because very few votes matter. I know this. I think all the benefits of this type of campaign are undeniable. I think I don't want to be Best Buy. I want to be Amazon. And I definitely don't want to be Blockbuster.